Welcome back to tonight's sad reality, where probably the only sad reality tonight is that I'm gonna wake up in 6 hours and then go to work. I have no idea how to play this game. We're a barbarian now, I suppose. Anyways, what I'm gonna talk about tonight I think is really interesting. It's this idea of inspiration and also standing out from a crowd. I feel like those are both two semi-difficult things to do. The assist shrine. I have no idea what this does, but I feel like that's like an easy mode, which I don't want to do. But so like, dungeon crawlers are fairly standard, right? I mean, you've played so many of them nowadays, and like, a game like Dungeons and Dragons, I mean, there's just so many of these things out there. You got like your goblins, and your wizards, and your, you know, every class known to man. All these things are generic, and you've seen them, and it's like, we've done it before, right? But, how do you stand out from a crowd, you know? Some people choose, like, flashy clothing. Some people do it with, a voice. Is this a wagon? It's a sawmill. Something. Appraisal increased. Oh yeah, I guess from picking up all these items, just finding stuff on the ground. I know there's a map in this game, or at least there used to be, although it looks like all the UI completely changed. That's fun. Yeah, this game's changed so much, gosh. But, one way to do it is just have, like, a unique way of going about it, you know? Some people like first person, some people don't like first person, some people like third person, and there's so many different ways you can go about the sort of same game. Dungeons and Dragons style thing. I feel like spells used to be really overpowered in this game, but, like, it was harder to play a melee class, but this is really easy for me for some reason. Is this like the way forward, or is this like just death? I know there used to be like a staircase you'd have to find. Oh, I see the minimap now. I don't think I want to go down there. It's a bit of a mix trying to find stuff like this. But as far as like making videos goes too, I mean, I've been doing this for almost a month now, and I really enjoy this too. I love making videos and just talking on the internet. But one of the issues is, like, how do you really stand out from a crowd? How do you find something a little bit different? How do you find your own corner of the internet? It's not something that, like, everyone can just do. I'm poisoned. I'm stuck in white stuff. That's very normal. I'm not gonna play this for too long tonight, though, because it's literally 3 in the morning. But, it's so hard sometimes just to find that, and but once you have that, how do you separate yourself from it, right? Like a crowd. So I was talking with a friend who was on a podcast forever ago, and the big question was, like, you know, if you do this for a while, you're gonna start to find it be a little bit boring, but also, like, if you have an inspiration originally, well, how do you differentiate yourself from that original inspiration, you know? Let's see, it's open elsewhere. I think it's one way out. I've got like multiple ways to go through this game as well, like different passageways depending on where you find the exit. Sorry, I'm like trying to relearn this game as well. But it's so cool to take a design like this and sort of transpose it on things, but then also set it up for something completely new. I played this game a while ago with friends I should say, you know, that type. And also you should be picking up everything, assuming that the old inventory system is still the way it was, because it'll get slower and slower until eventually you can't walk. That means you can sell things, though. Right? Generic, talk with people, sell... Whoa, yeah, I completely read the inventory, jeez. This is actually really cool, though. Like a child again, just like looking at like a whole new game. It's crazy. I love this, though. Oh, did I break it? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Sorry, my thoughts are kind of hard to collect. I said maybe I'll start talking about another thing when I get there, back there eventually. I'm gonna die here, aren't I? I did die. Unfortunate. Remember, those are supposed to be difficult. Let's run that back. You can make videos on the internet, anyone can do that. But what makes yours special? Is it the energy? Is it the thought put into it? Or the lack of thought in some cases? Is it the variety, the genericness? Is it the familiarity, the nostalgia? And not everyone has that thing that sets them apart, and a lot of people just kind of sit there in that same...
Best of luck.
Amazing. In that same sort of place that they've always been. It really takes someone special to make something different from life. And hopefully everyone finds out eventually, but not everyone will. One of those things too, where you can always help someone, hope the absolute best for them, but it's always a bit of a gamble as to whether or not people will see that good thing in life. So that red thing, I think this is just a boulder, or an iron sword. Okay, yeah, that red dot is just a boulder. Coming back to something after a while and seeing it brand new, it's always a really good feeling as well. Sometimes too, you've gone on for so long and you realize that, hey, you just need like a bit of a refresher, you need a bit of a change of pace. It's not necessarily a bad thing as long as you don't stop completely. Sometimes that literally just means like putting it down and saying, hey, I'm gonna do this again, just give it time, you know? All the people with art block out there, I know. The Cryptic Quarterstaff, interesting. I know that art fight's just right around the corner. I know this going well to the people who've started it. I've got some friends who are and some friends who aren't, which I think a lot of that is to be attributed to just general, like, oh hey, they're busy, or art block, procrastination, and that's totally fine. It's not like it needs to be done, but it's always interesting to see the people who go out of their way to challenge themselves and push themselves to go really far with life. I mean, it feels like my videos, it's just coming up at 3 in the morning nowadays, and making something. Like, I'm heading to work in 6 hours from now, and I still gotta make something. So, hopefully I'm able to make something worth watching. More magic stuff. Earlier today too, I was walking my dog, and speaking of setting people apart, and I don't know, finite amount of inspiration. You want to feel hope for the world? I was talking about yesterday how it pisses me off, kind of the way people treat each other. That's sad. Oh, that's what this was earlier. I thought it was like a sleeping golem on the ground when I didn't break that sack earlier. But I was walking my dog earlier today, and it was kind of funny, it's kind of dumb. There was these kids in the neighborhood that bike around, and I usually think they're a bit of a nuisance. But I'd say they weren't. One of them was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, I don't know you, I've never met you, but you used to say hi to me. And that's cool, I guess, especially for someone. My guess is he's like middle school, high school. It's not like the super outgoing age, if that makes sense. But it's cool to think that someone would just be like, hey, hi, how are you doing? Time to meet you, I guess. It's not really for everyone, and I feel like I rarely see that nowadays. Especially with, again, people not even looking at your face when you're a cashier working in retail. You know, that being last night's sad reality. Hope it's not bleeding into tonight any. I just find that interesting, and I hope it's something to look forward to, and meeting new people. Sometimes, too, that also does kind of make or break life. It's just the people you meet, and seeing what you're able to do with or without them, or learn from them, and take away, live life, and breathe there. Somehow we'll get there. iCarly something. I hope tonight's video hasn't been super great meta-analysis, whatever. I guess kind of the hope there too is maybe that's a bit more insight as far as just the, you know, it's hard to make something day after day after day and find a unique way to do it, especially like a new game every day. And my goal for this is for a year and see what I'm able to make, and then go back to my main channel, making stuff again. I'll probably still talk here every once in a while, especially once there are more people to talk with. Yeah, I think all of that said, I think I am going to end tonight's video. So that's been tonight's, not actually outside reality, but a reality nonetheless. So have a great rest of your night, sleep well, hopefully better than I'll sleep, and I'll see you in tomorrow's sad reality.